Welcome, everyone, to this explainer. Listen, if you're tuning in, chances are you're an ambitious, focused learner. But let's be totally honest with ourselves for a second. Even the most driven among us occasionally get hit with that overwhelming, sinking anxiety of feeling completely stagnant. You know the feeling, right? You look around and just think, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life right now. Well, you're in the right place, because today we are breaking down a highly structured roadmap to get you unstuck based on some seriously powerful source material. Okay, let's dive into this. So, why exactly do you feel lost? It's a heavy question. But before we even attempt to answer it, the source material offers us this. Well, this brilliant piece of cognitive unburdening. Absolutely nobody, actually scratch that, literally zero people, not even the wildly successful entrepreneurs, authors, or thought leaders you look up to, have their entire life perfectly mapped out. Finding clarity isn't about having some magical crystal ball. It's about reorienting yourself. So if you're sitting there expecting perfect 20/20 vision for the next 50 years of your life, just let that pressure go right now. To really wrap our heads around this feeling of being lost, our source material introduces a fantastic analogy. Feeling lost in life is exactly like being stranded in the middle of a dense, totally unmapped forest. You're lost for three very simple reasons. First, you don't know where you're trying to go. Second, you don't know exactly where you are starting from. And third, even if you miraculously knew both of those things, you still don't know the path to get from point A to point B. In this explainer, we're going to focus intensely on that first, absolutely massive hurdle, figuring out where you actually want to go. To navigate our way out of these woods, we're going to use 5 specific frameworks. We'll look at the art of wayfinding, defining your service, dreaming without fear, reverse engineering your life, and finally, taking the first step. All right, framework number 1, the art of wayfinding. This is all about shifting your paradigm from destinations to directions. Before we jump into the specific tools, we really have to fundamentally change our mindset about what setting a goal actually looks like. The core concept we're pulling here from authors Bill Burnett and Dave Evans is called wayfinding. Wayfinding is defined as the process of figuring out where to go, even when you do not have a clear destination in mind. You see, life is a moving target. It's constantly shifting as you grow and change. You don't need a final pinpointed destination on the map. You just need a general direction to start moving. Just think about these two totally different mindsets for a second. Having a clear destination is rigid. It's incredibly anxiety-inducing because it demands perfect clarity from day one. But on the flip side, we have sailing a general direction, or what we can call the Columbus method. When Christopher Columbus sailed across the Atlantic, he obviously didn't have Google Maps, right? He essentially just said, look, I know there is something out there, and if I just sail in that general direction and adjust my course as I go, something good will happen. We need to view our own life journey with that exact same flexible, course-correcting mindset. Which brings us nicely to framework number 2, defining your service, finding meaning through helping others. So how do we actually find that general direction? Well, true fulfillment and a lasting North Star are rarely found by just chasing money or fame. They're almost always rooted in how we serve the world. Picture this. Imagine you were invited to the main official TED conference exactly 20 years from now. You walk onto that stage and you deliver a talk that deeply, profoundly moves everyone in the audience. What does that talk about? It absolutely doesn't have to be about curing a global crisis. It could be an incredible talk about how to be a great parent or how to be an unsung supportive teacher. What is the topic you care enough about that you'd want to speak on it for 20 years? Okay, let's stack another prompt right on top of that, the talent service prompt. If you had all the money and all the free time in the world, how would you use your unique natural talents to serve others? This is an absolutely crucial distinction because when we utilize our natural strengths, the journey actually becomes energizing. You shouldn't just decide to be a doctor because it's a noble way to serve if the day-to-day work completely drains the life out of you. You need to find a service that genuinely lights you up and makes your journey sustainable for the long haul. Moving on to framework number 3, dreaming without fear, bypassing the limits of self-doubt. So often, our North Star is completely clouded because our ambitions are artificially boxed in. They're boxed in by the fear of failure and the fear of judgment. The source poses a fascinating classic question here. What would you do if you knew you could not fail? And the source material actually gives us some wonderful, highly specific personal examples of this. The creator noted that if failure was literally not an option, they would build a daily productivity app or, get this, go on a world tour with a one-man stage show combining magic, mentalism, and life advice. I mean, why not? By thinking without limits like that, you uncover what you genuinely think is fun. Even if that stage show was a total commercial failure, the process of building it would still be an absolute joy. And that's how you find authentic direction. Keeping that momentum going, here is the deferred dream prompt. What is one dream you've always had but just completely ignored? Maybe you've always wanted to open a cozy little neighborhood coffee shop. Okay, well, why didn't you? Interrogate that specific fear. Was it just because you don't know how to run a business? Recognizing exactly what fear stopped you in your tracks is an incredibly powerful step in clearing the fog from your path. Next up, framework number 4, reverse engineering your life. Designing the ideal day, and learning from others. Let's talk about the Ideal Tuesday exercise. Fast forward exactly 1 year from today. What does a perfectly mundane, everyday Tuesday look like for you? We aren't talking about a vacation in Bora Bora here. Maybe you wake up, do a quick workout with friends, spend the afternoon doing focused deep work, and spend the evening having dinner with your family. Visualizing a perfectly ordinary yet deeply fulfilling day uncovers your authentic present values. It tells you exactly what kind of lifestyle you need to be aiming for right now, today. Now, there's a really profound metaphor introduced here. You can't read the label from inside the bottle. When you're dealing with imposter syndrome or you're just feeling hopelessly lost, it's really hard to analyze yourself. Why? Because you're stuck inside your own bottle. We have to look outward. Who are your role models? The source material mentions Tim Ferriss, admiring how he just explores authentic interest without worrying about commercial algorithms. By identifying what we admire on the outside of other people's bottles, we figure out the exact values we want to emulate on our own labels. Which brings us to framework 5. Begin with the end in mind. Writing your ultimate legacy. Facing your ultimate destination is perhaps the most profound method for finding direction. This sounds a bit intense, but stick with me. We have here a snippet of an actual AI-generated obituary from the source material. A team member named Tintin listed out exactly how he wanted to be remembered, as a great father, a highly present friend, and someone who reformed education. They plugged his raw notes into an AI, and it generated this beautiful legacy statement, a visionary in education who inspired others to bravely face challenges. By literally writing out your own future obituary, you forcefully clarify your final destination, and that, in turn, anchors every single directional decision you make today. All right, we've done a lot of deep reflection, but now it's time for the final framework, taking the first step, moving out of the forest. Let's see how we can actually build on this, because an explainer isn't complete without some immediate, actionable advice. Here are your final rules of wayfinding to get you started. First, you have to write this down. You can't solve a complex math equation in your head, and you sure can't solve your life's direction in your head either. Handwrite it if possible. Second, do not let perfect be the enemy of good. Don't try to answer every single prompt we just covered. Just pick the 1 or 2 that really resonated with you. And third, treat whatever you write down as a rough draft. Think of it as version 0.1. You are not locked into a career path forever just based on a quick brainstorming exercise. So the absolutely crucial point we need to walk away with is this: action breeds clarity. You do not need a hyper-detailed 50-year master plan to stop feeling lost. You just need to figure out your general direction, your North Star, and simply start walking toward it, ready to adjust your sails as the wind changes. So I want you to grab a pen, pick a prompt, and ask yourself right now, what is your North Star? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start charting your course today.